specialist. I earned my first degree in economics and business management, and my master's degree in business management in the University of Fort Hare, South Africa. And I currently am a member of CIPM and NITD. I'm also a bona fide member of this honorable group that is hosting this program, which is HR Mentorship. And I would like to say a big thank you to the management, the entire core members, with good thank you to Mr. Oluyemi Adeochun for another opportunity. Yes, I've been here before on this platform, and it has been interesting, taking webinars like this, because I love training and facilitating. So go straight to the business of the day. Applying Agile methodology to human resource management. Now, you might begin to wonder why we need to talk about this topic. Number one reason is because gone are those days where we do things in a certain way, and then we do not want to move or have any mindset shifts from what we used to know. So you hear people saying things like, it has been like this is how it's supposed to be, and it cannot change. But right now, you would agree with me that things have evolved. The year is a new year, is a new system. We have to evolve with things, the time change, And if you look at the workplace currently, you would see that the workplace has changed from what it used to be. So formerly, for example, you would see, you would throw out an advert and you see many applicants and you ask them to come in for interviews, for example, and you tell them, bring in your CV, come in and dressed like this, and you see many people coming in for the interview. But right now, you will tell candidates coming for interview, you call them, hello, are you available for interview? They will tell you, is it virtual or physical? Or if it's physical, I'm not interested. And you begin to wonder what's going on. So gone are those days where you do things your way as a business or as an HR professional. Right now, candidates have a say in what the decision or whatever it has to be. So candidates are involved. So this is me again, the facilitator for the day. It's going to be an interactive session. I do not want to lord over anyone, and I don't want it to look like I'm a preacher. I'm not a pastor. So at some point, I'll be asking for opinions, and I'll be asking for our suggestions with regards matters. I'll be asking for our input with regards some subtopics in this session today. Now let's quickly look at the outline. The first thing we are going to look at is the introduction, overview of this topic, applying methodology, Agile methodology principles, ways to apply Agile methodology in human resource, benefits of applying Agile methodology in human resource. So look at examples of companies that have applied this Agile methodology and how has it been for them. We'll look at challenges and limitations, and we'll look at conclusions, then we'll look at the questions and the contributions. The first thing is introduction. And in this introduction, I have two questions that will drive home the point. The first question is, do you struggle with rigid HR processes that don't adapt to your organization changing needs? Because again, even if the organization is not changing, but the world you have built your organization is changing, and the world around the organization is changing. The people in the organization is changing. So are you still holding on to those processes, those rigid processes, like it cannot change? Those policies, are you still holding fast to them? That's number one question. Number two question, are you looking for a more flexible and employee-centered approach to HR management? So if these two questions, for example, the first question, you are saying no to it, and the second question, you are saying yes, then you are welcome to listen to this webinar session. Again, I would like to say that this session is not just for HR professionals. So, for example, a business leader should have an idea of how the times are changing and how to also change, evolve. So the times are changing and not changing, and there's a problem. Leader as a business owner on call as a customer service representative, for example, our HR professional, you need to understand the needs and the wants of your customers and how things have changed over time. So you need to change. So, for example, let me give you an example, a quick one. Before now, we use typewriter, isn't it? So let's assume that those people using typewriter then stuck to it and say, oh, no, it's typewriter all the way. Typewriter it is. Now, who is using typewriter again, for crying out loud? So we have moved from typewriter era to laptops, smart iPads, working with phones, Android phones and all that. So it has moved. So if you remain in the typewriter time, you would eventually not be moved with the trend. That is why this topic is key for everyone, whether you're a business owner and you are an economist, you are a statistician, you are an accountant, there is an agile way of doing things. And that is what we'll be looking at. Whenever I talk about human resource, fit in your profession, fit in your career or your space to what I'm saying. Might be technology, of course. Then in this presentation, would explore the benefits of applying Agile methodology in human resource management. Would look at Agile methodology, how project management approach that emphasizes flexibility, collaboration, and continuous improvement. We'll look also at applying Agile methodology to human resource organizations and create a more agile and adaptive workforce that is better equipped to navigate today's rapidly changing business environment. And that is all that I've said in my introduction or at the beginning of this webinar. An overview of this topic. Agile methodology is a flexible and iterative project management approach that emphasizes, number one, collaboration. So it has gone beyond this, every man for himself in an organization, to collaboration. How does the HR collaborate or assist the marketing or the sales team so that it's still in conjunction with the business goals, mission, vision, statement, and then to support the growth of the business? How do they collaborate? Continuous improvement is important when you talk about agile methodology and adapting to change. Some people are rigid. Yes, change is constant, but many people are rigid. They do not want to change at all. How can we help? How can we come in? And I tell you, after listening to this webinar session, you would see ways you can assist people. You would see reasons to assist people to be able to key in to changes as they occur. Also, Agile methodology involves breaking down the projects into small tasks, prioritizing them based on value, and working in short iterations to deliver working prototypes. Also, applying Agile methodology in human resource management and create a more responsive and employee-centered culture. And that is where I would like to appeal to human resource professionals on call today. Please pay attention to this session. It will help a great deal, especially in this continuous changing system that we are in. Agile methodology principles. There are some principles that are guiding. So I have more than 4 principles, but I have brought in here 4 principles that are guiding Agile methodology. The first principle we have is individual interaction over process and tools. So Agile methodology now involves individual interactions. It welcomes and it aligns with individual interactions over process and tools. These are the processes, these are the tools, do it this way. No, but it wants now for us to interact, to have suggestions, to come together and think together. How will this process work? How will these things work? What are the tools we need? It now brings in questions that will help the business, not just somebody bringing in, okay, we have made this together, the process and the tools, this is it. No, it now encourages individual interactions. The second principles that I've brought in place today is working software over comprehensive documentation. So we do not want to work with comprehensive documentations anymore. You would get into companies right now and you see that they are no longer paper here and there. No paper, no documentation, no keeps, no, what do they call it now? Filing, a lot of filing, workroom where you keep papers and all that. When you need information, you need to go search. 1 week you are looking for a particular document. No, we now, Agile methodology now encourages working software where everything is just what? Automatic, is automated. Everything is on the system. You don't need to go into paperwork. In fact, if you want to test my patient, ask me to go search for documents, maybe inside one file like that, search for something, it's tiring. I cannot cope with paper anymore. Yes. So before we were coping with papers, but as time goes on, as time evolved over time, we started with working software. And for HR professionals, for example, even not HR professionals, for accountants and for business owners, you would agree with me that we have many working softwares that we can think of. I would not mention because I would not like to start advertising for these companies anyways, but we have many working softwares. The third principle is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So Agile principle encourages customer collaboration. So when we talk about business units, business owners, HR, procurement department, whatsoever you want to do in the business, we talk about customer collaboration. How well you collaborate with your customer right now. That is what is involved. You're no longer looking at contract negotiations here and there. Okay, how we can collaborate with our customers is key and important when we talk about Agile methodology. And the last one that I've brought on point today is responding to change over following a plan. Responding to change. And I've said that before, that many people would say, no, this is how it used to be. In fact, I've worked with an organization where they would like tell you. So I was like, what's going on? So why can't we do this? The subordinates and my friends, my colleagues, they would say, no, this is how we used to do it. So in this company, no, this is how we used to do it. So this is how I used to do it. For how long? We need to change. I joined an organization and I was told that the hiring manager, this way you're saying that we want to do virtual interview. The hiring manager don't allow virtual interview. You will not agree to virtual interview. And when I went to him, I was like, sir, we need to see these people at least first stage online. Things have evolved right now. People will not really want to come down to the office for a first stage interview. Even I myself will not do the same. He was like, no, I want to see them. And seeing them is not even because there's a practical session. Even if there's a practical session, there's a way already put in place that you can also test your staff or your candidates online. There's a way things have changed, but he insisted on seeing them physically. Of course, I agreed. You know, he's my customer at that point, and he's a business leader at that point. So I said, okay, no problem. Then let's bring them in. And when I was calling the candidate, they were like, no, I cannot make it. And it's even for a senior role, not a junior role at that people will quickly run and they don't have jobs and all that. Senior role for that matter, I said, nobody, everybody declined the invites. They're not willing to attend, except to do a virtual. Do we hold on the role? Do we wait until we get someone that would come in that is hungry? Because I tell you, for free, senior people would not come in for a first stage interview. In fact, you can even run a first stage and a second stage online, and you would hire these people. Simple and straightforward. He was like adamant. People resist change. It was difficult for him. I left him. But at some point, it was like, okay, let's try. So let's try. You would enjoy it. And when we tried it, I made the session wow. And it was like he was seeing the people like face to face and physically, and he was. And right now, he would tell me, do it your way, do it. You like, do it. Like, okay. So how did you do it? How did you do it? I said, don't worry, things have changed. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about when we talk about Agile methodology. People responding to change over processes. Now, I told you when I started that this session will be interactive. I want to know how many people are with me in body, soul, and spirits. How many people are physical on this call? Now, let us look at this brain teaser. Can you find the 4 hidden words? So you can type it on the chat box. I'll be looking at the first person to respond. Find the 4 hidden words. So you can just type in one, whichever one you see. Type in one on the chat box. Let me see. Which have you seen? Which words have you seen in this picture? Wow. Yes, somebody said lamb. Yes. Lamb is right at the tree. Yes, tree by the right. Lamb. Yes. The next one is gone. The next, which hidden word can you see in this picture? Hidden words. Yes. Next. 3 more words. Rug. Yes. Thank you. Rug. There is rug. And rug is on the floor, on the rug, the center rug. Yes, it's on the rug. 2 more hidden words. 2 more. Okay. So we are looking at written words on this picture. Written words on this picture. So we see already the rug. Sorry, the rug, yes. We see the rug. If you look at the floor, you see rug written. We see the lamp, like somebody has written. The lamp is written by the tree, close to the person wearing a red shirt. You see by the tree. 2 more words. 2 more words that are so obvious. Look well. Yes, window. It's window. It's window. Thank you. Thank you. It's window. Window is on the curtain. Written on the curtain. Yes, 1 more word to go. Yes, window, correct. 1 more word to go. Boldly written. Look very well. Pay attention. Be agile. Be agile. Be agile. Brain. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Brain is written on the head of the person sitting on the chair. Yes. Brain. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for your participation. Thank you very much. Yes. So we move to the next. So we will dwell more on this part. Why? Is because this is exactly speaking to the topic, ways to apply Agile methodology in human resources. So because you might be asking, okay, so I've learned about, we are talking about Agile methodology applying itself. How can I apply it? How? So the first way or how you can apply is Agile HR team structure. So you start from team structure. It could be the HR person on call trying to applying agile methodology into the whole business unit, the accounts session or finance unit, the procurement unit, supply chain unit, the admin unit, of course, the HR unit, applying it over the business. So from cross-functional teams within the HR department composed of individuals with diverse skills and expertise. So this is one way when you want to start with the structure, the team structure. So you need to form, bring in people together with different skills, diverse expertise, and, let them come together. This teamwork collaboratively on specific HR initiatives or projects, enabling faster decision-making, improved communication, and shared accountability. So that is how you can help in this. So this first part relates to the team at large, because when you want to apply something, you want to bring in a change, it starts with the mindset. So you have to get the people ready. You have to make people come together, to be ready, like prepare them. So you start the change. So the change starts with you, then move it to people. So you can't just come and say, okay, everybody do business. Right now, we think we'll start dumping every Tuesday. Let's start dumping the roof every Tuesday. You're just bringing in things without preparing the mind of the people. So this HR team structure would help the people to be ready. Like, oh, something is coming our way. So they are getting ready. So this is number one way you can apply Agile methodology. First, Agile HR team structure. Look at the team structure and how you can structure the team to fit in what it should be like and how you want it to be like. Then the second thing is employee feedback and continuous improvements. Many times, before now, we do not encourage employee feedback. We do not even want to improve. When there is a feedback, we just like, oh, I don't know. We just like throw it down the, sweep it under the carpet. That is no longer encouraged. So one way you can apply, or you can start to apply, or ways to apply, is for you to start encouraging employee feedback and continuous improvement. Embrace Agile principles of continuous improvement by, number one, regularly seeking feedback. Now, feedback, I've learned over time that feedback is a gift. Take it. Many people, when you give them feedback, whether positive or negative, they are not willing. You can see that bar, that no, this is not for me. Especially, of course, when it's negative. People do not want to listen to feedback. So, but we as HR professionals, as other professionals on call, there is need for us to encourage employee feedback. Even for business leaders, conduct surveys. If you do not know how to conduct survey, for example, you can go online and check how you can conduct surveys. Now, but when you get this feedback, apply them. That is another thing. People will say, we just have suggestion box for nothing. Even if you put things there, don't even victimize us for putting our suggestion or for putting ideas or putting what we have in mind. Don't do that. Encourage feedback by conducting surveys, focus groups. You can even do one-on-one sessions, conversations. You can do one-on-one sessions, gather insights on HR processes, policies, and initiatives. Then, like I said before, use these feedbacks. Use them to identify areas of improvement and implement changes iteratively. There's need for us to then use this feedback as a gift that it is. Then the next one I have brought out is Agile HR processes. Your processes, how does it look like? How does your HR processes look like? How does your process, does it look cumbersome? Does it seem rigid? Ways to apply methodology. Next, like I said again, is to apply, to look at your HR processes. Make it agile. Implement agile practices such as daily stand-up meetings. It could be weekly. It depends on your business. It depends on how well you can do these stand-up meetings. It might even be on virtual meetings. It might be group by group. It might be, okay, today, as an HR person, today we'll be looking at, we'll be having these group meetings with sales. Maybe your sales teams are scattered everywhere. Maybe they're in Abuja, they're in Adon and all that. So looking at this unit, the next time we'll be looking at these people, this unit will be, so it might be monthly, it might be quarterly, it might be, but do this, often, not like once in a year or once in 2 years. How then can you say you are agile? Because things will change. People would have complaints. People would have things to say, suggestions to make that will even help the business to move forward. You can sprint planning and go on. Daily stand-up meetings would allow members to align on priorities. So there might be things, even to align on the company's goals, vision, and mission, discuss progresses, with that unit or with everyone, things that, that would help everyone, that involves everyone. Discuss it together. Identify obstacles, any obstacle that would hinder the progress of the business. It is through those stand-up meetings, through those village meetings, that you would see these things, that you would hear these things happen. Things that would help, but things that will not help, things that we should take away from the business and that we should stop doing and all that. Sprint planning involves breaking down HR initiatives into smaller manageable tasks, and set achievable goals within specific time frames. So that is what the sprint planning means. So you break down tasks into smaller pieces so that it will be faster for it to be achievable. And the next one is Agile performance management. So you can apply Agile methodology into your performance management as well. So how then can you do this? There is need for us to move away from the traditional method, yes. So we have talked about the traditional method before now. There is need for us to move away from it. For example, when we talk about traditional method is when you start doing your performance management or appraisal, whatever you call it, at the end of the year. That is what we used to know. So at the end of December, everybody come. At the end of the year, 2022, come together December 30th, 31st, or whatever time in December. So you, according to your performance, you failed. According to your own, you are average performance, you are below average. That is when you begin to tell who is what performance and who is what performance. When you apply Agile methodology to your performance management, you would have moved away from that traditional method and you will start performing performance management frequently, more frequent and dynamic. You would start doing it maybe once in 3 months or once in 4 months or once in a month so that you'll be able to identify who are the people I'm putting on PIP, who are the people that are not really below average, who are the people I need to attach someone to coach, who are the people that need mentoring and coaching, who are the people. You begin to identify this on time so you can build your team. Implement regular check-ins or feedback session between managers and employees. Allow for real-time feedback, goal settings, and performance discussion. These are things that you should do on a regular basis. Of course, if you're a business person on call, you're not an HR professional, and maybe your HR manager or whoever is not doing this, there is need for us to start. So, what next? Agile recruiting and onboarding. This one is important because many companies have not really adapted to the reality of this changing situation that we are in. Yes, this after COVID, post-COVID, yes, that's where we are. And because of COVID actually opened our eyes to see that things can be done in a certain way. But we do not want to, many people do not want to see that things can still be done because during COVID, nobody was at work. Things were happening, right? We're working, but after COVID now, people are like, no, we can't continue. Please, just come in general. Okay, so when we talk about applying Agile methodology into recruitment process and onboarding, we talk about Agile practices in the recruitment and onboarding process. Break down the hiring process into smaller focused tasks and prioritize them based on business needs. So there's need for us to implement iterative feedback loops to gather insights from hiring managers and candidates, especially when it comes to candidates. Candidate experience, candidate feedback is key. So for you in the business, you may not understand, you may not know where you are going wrong. Recently, I got a feedback and I was showing my hiring manager, I said, this feedback is heartbreaking. It was a bad one. It's heartbreaking. So the person complained, the candidate complained of being interviewed a year ago or so, and nobody got back to him. And again, apart from the fact that he was busy during that time, he was mandated. They said it must be physical interview. They can't do virtual. He left all the things he was doing. it came because of this particular interview. After sacrificing his work and coming to the interview physically, nobody got back again. I was like, really? So I just apologized and said, okay, we'll do better. Of course, at that point, I wasn't in the business. I haven't joined the business at that point, but again, we could do better. So this affects, even if I wasn't there at that time, it still comes down to every one of us, because at some point we forget to, because of our tasks, we are having so many tasks to do, we forget to feed our candidates back, we forget to get insights from our candidates. But this is important. And this enables faster and more efficient recruitment, so that even if the candidate is not interested in your company or in that role at that point, the candidate can say, oh, can I bring in someone? Can I refer someone to you? That is because you have been doing your job. You have been getting feedback. You have been giving feedback to your hiring managers and your candidates. Streamline the onboarding process. Streamline it in such a way that it can provide continuous support and feedback to new hires. Even when it comes to the onboarding process, how long do you do your onboarding? Now, many people will tell you that we want someone that will hit the ground running, hit the ground running, hit the ground. That's what we hear now. Yes, we want you to hit the ground running. However, we still need feedback from these candidates. Even if is the area of expertise, they are very good, they have 20 years of experience, do we still run onboarding process? Do we not just do induction for 2 days or 3 days and say, yeah, so you just throw them? So what if they have concerns? Some people, not everyone is an extrovert that will come up to the HR or come up to business owners to say, I have concerns. These are my concerns. Some people will start planning their exits, and that's why you see people within 6 months, 3 to 6 months, they start planning their exits, and they just joined. That is because of the onboarding, the loophole. So apply Agile methodology in your onboarding. Extend the period of your onboarding. When you do that, you'll be able to get feedbacks. How are you doing? In the next 1 month, 2 months, you are calling the candidate, the new hire. How are you doing? How's the business treating you? How are you faring? Are you okay? How are you getting along with your team? How is the team, team building going on? What stage are you finding it difficult with anything? Begin to ask questions and when you have feedbacks, take the feedback as a gift and then work towards the feedback and how to get better. Okay. So also we can apply Agile methodology into our learning and development, trainings, support, and all that. Development and learning of our people, capacity building, we can apply Agile methodology. And how? We can use short, iterative cycles to design and deliver training programs. Incorporate feedback mechanisms to assess the effectiveness of training and make adjustments accordingly. Many people do trainings, they do not even care how the training affects their people. Did it really drive home the points? Did it really help people to make adjustments? Did it help them? Is it on the job training? How well did he help them on the training, on the job? Have they changed from what they used to know to applying the training that they've learned? These are things that we get not just by using evaluation forms. Say, okay, today is the training, after the training, evaluation form field. How was the training? How was the hall? I'm looking at mechanisms on the yardstick we normally use now, the training materials. Was it good? 5 over, strongly agree, disagree. That's not what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about after, say, 2 weeks, a month of training, do you go back to the line manager to say, how have you seen any improvement? Do you go back to the people you trained to say, how has it helped you? How is it helping you? Have they moved to the former way to the now way? These are things that we encourage when you apply Agile learning and methodology to your learning and development. Also, there's need to encourage employees to take ownership of their learning and provide opportunities for self-directed developments. Encourage your employees. So don't wait until the company pay for my ICANN or for my CIP. I don't think I'm ready to do CIP until I think on the pipeline they said that they would look into the policy of paying for our CIPM or paying for professional development programs or pay for trainings. Let me wait. So when they pay, I would start, I would attend, I would read, I would now be professional. But now let me just hold. Are they developing themselves? So are they going to start in the company? Even if they're going to start in the company, they still need to be developed. So encourage them to learn e-learnings, learnings that are even free, that they can even do without having to pay. So how well are we encouraging them? That is how to apply Agile methodology into our learning and development. Then data-driven decision making. If you apply Agile methodology to this, you would be able to leverage on data to make informed decisions. Because again, one of the days where we just see things in the business and we just agree on, okay, this is what we think can happen, let's do. Business owners right now want to see data. You will say, what if I try to apply all these things, I try to change the culture, I try to do this and that, but the business owner is saying no. Some people will say, HR in my company are figureheads, they are not taking any decisions. Because whenever they want to make initiatives or innovative decisions, the business owners will say, no, I'm not interested. So how can I then effect those changes? It's not my business, I cannot force it to them. Yes, but do you have data? Because business owner wants to see data. I attended the training and it was a physical training that was last year. And one of the speakers spoke to this data and said, there was a time when he wanted to make a suggestion to say, let's start working from home, hybrid work. Like sometimes people work from home and sometimes people work from the office, like it was that kind of, maybe 2 days from home and 3 days in the office. And the business owner were like, no, you don't want that. That was after COVID. Like, let everybody come to the office. COVID is over and all that. So he said he went back to do analysis and said, what he said, he shared is that number one, he looked at the costs of having everyone report to the office, the cost it will have to the business. Of course, there are overhead costs, water, electricity, and all that, and data and all that, right? Then he now looked at the productivity level. He said during COVID, when people were working from home, he made the statistics, said these are the productivity level. He went in and drafted out a policy that could also help people work from home, because these business owners, again, they would think that, okay, when you work from home, you are not actually working from home, you are sleeping from home. You are not working, you are sleeping or gallivanting or enjoying yourself from home. So that is the mindset. So how then can I change this business owner's mindset? How then can I change this mindset from the traditional method to the now method? Then he decided to do all this. And I tell you, when he came down to present, he said they were wild. So even the benefits to the employees, how this work from home would benefit the employees, would also benefit the business. And with data, and the agreement was made. So data-driven, the decision-making of every business is driven by data. So without data that gives insight, you cannot win your business over. You cannot win in this present system. You cannot win in this now of work. Use metrics, HR initiative metrics and analytics to measure the impact of HR initiatives. Identify trends and make data-driven improvements. Review and update HR strategies based on the insight gained from the data. That is how you'll be able to review. And you can't do this alone, of course, because you're not the business owner. You still need to discuss with the business owner using this data. What is the next? Agile performance metrics. Talked about performance management before now. Applying Agile methodology into your performance metrics. Develop Agile performance metrics that focus on outcomes and impact rather than simply measuring activities. So do not measure activities alone. collaborate with employees to define key performance indicators that aligns with organizational goals and provide regular updates on progress. Regular updates. We keep seeing this. Regular updates. Even when we talked about the performance management, applying Agile methodology into your performance management, it talked about frequent, continuous, and now we are seeing regular updates. It's important. And this approach will promote transparency, ownership, and continuous improvement in performance management that we have spoken about. Succession planning. Many businesses do not have this in place. Many do not have it in place, yes. So, but after this webinar, I'm very sure that you would then think of succession planning. Implement Agile principles in your succession planning. Identify and develop future leaders is important. So because you know how it is with the JAPA we talked about, the people leaving, recently, in fact, I've been burdened with work recently because two of my team members just disappeared. When I mentioned to someone said they disappeared to appear somewhere else. Yes, they disappeared. They resigned, they left. Now, they didn't leave to Canada or outside Nigeria. They are still in Nigeria, they left. So business leaders would also leave. Like, for example, the HODs, those people on the top, they could also just leave. They could decide to leave. You can't hold them down. So do we have succession planning in place? Create a talent pool of high potentials. Identify your hippos. We call them hippos. Identify them. So that when people are leaving, you'll be able to know, okay, who are those leaving? How do we fit people in? How do we make them close the gap quickly? How do we, because right now, people do not want to burn bridges anymore. I was hiring for a role, and I told the person, we want you to come immediately. We want even to buy your notice period. We want to pay 1 month in lieu of your notice period. He mentioned, number one, that he's a senior manager in his current place, doesn't want to burn bridges, and he has 3 months notice to give. So for that 3 months, are you telling me that that key role in my business will just be there? Nothing is going to happen on that seat. That we are telling me. So, but if we have a talent pool, if we have hippos identified, if we have future leaders, if we have succession planning in place, then I do not need to worry, because I know there's someone that is already close to that person that could actually hit the ground once someone leaves. I do not need to start telling somebody, I want to buy your notice period, I want to pay 1 month in leave for you and all that and all that. So the business will continue to move. Provide regular feedback and coaching to accelerate growth of these people that you have identified into this role. Make them a project. This Agile approach will ensure a continuous pipeline of capable leaders ready to take on new challenges. Okay. So the next we have Agile workforce planning. Agile workforce planning. There is need for us to apply Agile methodology into our workforce planning. Apply Agile principles to workforce planning by adapting a dynamic and iterative approach. So instead of relying solely on long-term projections, regularly reassess talent need based on changing business priorities. Identify these things on a regular basis, not on a long-term, not relying on a long-term project. No. So if you want to apply Agile methodology into your workforce planning, you then need to look into it, reassess it, use Agile techniques to capacity planning, resource allocations, and scenarios analysis to quickly adapt the workforce to evolving demand. Then, HR technology adoption. Many companies are still using, yes, when you talk about it now, they will say, okay, because we don't have money, yes, we understand. But again, for those that have implemented, I know of a company that have implemented, for example, SAP. SAP, you understand, SAP is a big software, you know, and right now they are still doing a manual way of they are still using, they're not using the SAP for training. They are not, what I would like to say is that they are not utilizing it to its full course. They are still underutilizing the SAP, though the SAP is there. So that is where we HR come in. When implementing new technologies or systems, take an agile approach. Break down the implementation process into smaller phase or sprints, allow for quick wins and faster value realization. That is by using it. Use them for everything. Using them from your recruitment, to your training, to your onboarding process, to your payroll and management, performance management, and all those things. Involve end users in the design and testing stage to gather feedback. That is at the start, and ensure the technology meets their needs. So this is important. Then iteratively refine and enhance the system based on user input. Then you'll be able to decide, will this system really work for the business or not? Agile change management. So we're talking about change management. Embrace agile principles during times of organizational change or transformation. Encourage collaboration, transparency, and frequent communication to keep employees informed and engaged. When we talk about change management, it is not just, it's not a plug and play. It's not. There is need for you to be open to communication. Break down large-scale changes into smaller, manageable chunks and provide opportunities for feedback and adaptation along the way. So you need to continue. It's kind of a round stuff where when you get to this point, you still get feedback, you still get ideas, you still get more ideas, innovative ideas, and analyze decisions and everything. You move again. It's continuous. It's not something you do. I've done it now. Should be last year. We have done this thing now. No, it's a continuous process. It's a continuous thing that needs to happen as long as the business continues to run. Employee feedback and recognition. How can you apply Agile? What are the ways to apply Agile methodology into employee feedback and recognition? Many companies do not have this in place. So if you're on call today, even if you're not an HR professional, you can go to your HR and say, listen, I'm very sure, Mr. We always put this on YouTube. So you can also go and check all previous trainings and webinars, free webinars, and even this one, it will be on YouTube. So you can even ask your HR person to go through and see what this person has said about employee feedback and recognition. So you can then, you can now sit together to see how you can work towards it, even if your HR person is not on call today. So on this part, you need to adapt other practices for employee feedback and recognition programs. Implement regular feedback cycle, such as weekly or bi-weekly check-ins, to provide continuous guidance and recognition. Encourage peer-to-peer recognition and empower employees to give and receive feedback in real time. So gone are those days where people want to work themselves out without recognition, without well done. So it is not all about salary increase our salary. I can increase my salary today and tomorrow, this economist said the needs that woman wants are insatiable. And that is true. Our wants are insatiable. So 1 minute, I want money, I want money, I want money, I want salary increase, the next minute, I want something else. So there is need for me to then say, because the next minute some employees are funny, they'll tell you that it's not about salary. So I want to be encouraged. I want, what do they call this now? Recognition. I want award. I want to paste it on LinkedIn. I was recognized for this in my company. It's an achievement. So put on LinkedIn, my salary was increased from 5,000 to 600,000. That would not count, right? Because when you put it on your CV, I was recognized and I was given an award for the best, whatever, not. Applaud you. So at some point, people want this. So how can you then make this work? This approach promotes a culture of continuous learning and growth. People will begin to, you see people, they'll begin to employees will begin to have this competition. Of course, healthy competition, and is encouraged in the workplace to have healthy competition is very good. And that is where when you apply this feedback and recognition to your work. Okay. So that comes to the end of the part of ways to apply Agile methodology into your processes in your organization. Now, we look at the benefits. You would see some of the benefits are, number one, increased flexibility and responsiveness. You will see that even the organization itself will be flexible. They will not be rigid. It will be rigid. You will see when there's application of Agile methodology, you see that things will begin to move as changes will occur as changes come. As things evolve, you see changes happening. As things as the employees as the space evolve, things will be changing and it will be moving fast because there's this application of Agile methodology. But where there is none, you see that before you can implement one change, you would pray and fast, you would sweat because they are not used to that method. So it will increase flexibility. It will improve employee engagement and satisfaction, of course. So you see what we have said now. Maybe you apply it to your recruitment process, you apply it to your onboarding process, you will see that there will be improved employee engagement. Employee will feel engaged because it's not now only about salary. You hear people saying that, no, that company, so boring. I'm always tired. Even when I want to go to work, I'm tired because it's work. There's no fun. There's nothing to engage, no engagement whatsoever apart from work. I'm not. It will when you are one of the benefits. Another benefit is that you would see a faster delivery of HR solutions. You see a faster delivery. You see your HR team performing fast, performing well. That is when there is this application of Agile methodology and when business owners begin to embrace this Agile methodology. Increased innovation and creativity. Yes, people will begin to, bring in ideas for you now. People will begin to align because they see that when they brought something, the business looked into it. They worked on it and it's now working and running smoothly. When they brought, people will then begin to think, even business leaders, even HODs, they'll begin to think on ways to be innovative and creative, and it will be moving, it will just move from worst or from bad to good. Then you see one of the last benefits I brought in here is that better alignment with business goals. That is for sure. There will be better alignments with business goals because all these Agile methodologies, this agility we are talking about, we all are moving on talking about Agile methodology into business goals, mission, vision, statement of the business. So they are all going to be in line. It's not going to be we are applying Agile methodology in maybe a tech world, and we are going to be looking at QSR. QSR wants to use the same method. No. So you'll be applying this methodology according to how it fits your business needs and goals and objectives, how it fits your mission and vision. That is why this is a benefit because it will help to better align with the business goals. All this methodology we talked about. Then let us look at the examples of organizations that have keyed into this methodology, this Agile methodology we're talking about. Number one example is Spotify. I don't know if you know Spotify, but Spotify is a technology company that has aligned. You can Google it. You can Google Spotify. what they did. You would even see a lot of things that they did, how they applied this methodology. But I have a few things here. It says that actually what they did was that they applied Agile methodology to the HR function. And the company then used the Agile framework called Squad Health Check. Check about this. Time will not permit us to now go check, or for me to give you the full details. That's why I say you should go and check just for your information. They applied this framework, Squad Health Check, to continually monitor and improve employee engagement levels, as well as a continuous feedback system by the employee well real-time feedback on their performance. And this, if you go and read, if you read further about this Spotify, you will see that it helps them even when they talk about hybrid. It helps them during their hybrid. When they are going to work hybrid, going to work from home, this helps. So you not have a situation where you'll be thinking at the back of your mind that when you ask your employees to work, or your staff to work from home, they'll be sleeping from home, or they will not work, or they will not meet the goal of the day, or they will not end their salary for the day. No, in fact, in my comment group in the HR mentorship, somebody recently posted that the business owner was asking her that what is a way, how can he make sure that the HR implements something, or how can an HRO help to make sure that each time there's a work from home, or not even work from home, even in the office, that each employee of the business earn their salary for the day? How can maybe they should start doing performance review every day, like checking up on performance every day. And when I saw the question, I was laughing because I don't understand. So business owners want to see that you are working. So not to talk of saying you want to work from home. So if you apply Agile methodology, it will be simple. It will be easy for people to work from home and still align with the business goals, align with the business objective, and still work and earn their salary for the day. It will be easy. You would first start with principles and policies that will guide the work from home. You understand? So you start with that. Then you coach your hiring managers, because they are the ones to monitor this closely, that they are giving tasks for the day to their subordinates, and they are getting results for the day. Of course, HR cannot oversee. For example, there's 5,000 staff. Cannot oversee or 5,000 staff, making sure that they are working, So those kind of things. Equip your line managers. It would help a great deal. Let's look at the second company that have applied this method and it works. That's Cisco. The multinational technology company that has applied Agile methodology to its recruitment process. They used a continuous recruitment model that allows it to quickly respond to new hiring needs, as well as an Agile performance management system that focuses on continuous feedback and coaching. You see? So that is how they achieved. And if you go back to read more about them, you would also see the ways that it has benefited this company by applying it to their recruitment process. Ericsson is also one, out of many, of course. The multinational technology company as well that has applied Agile methodology to its HR functions. The company used Agile principles to foster a culture of continuous learning and improvement, as well as to develop and deliver HR solutions quickly and efficiently. So the end of applying Agile methodology is always good, whether for the business or for the people. It's always good. So then we move to the next. What are the challenges? Of course, if you want to apply anything, you want to do anything, in fact, no matter how small or how little it is, there are always challenges. Number one challenge is resilience to change. Yes, resistance to change. People resist change. And change, like I said before, is constant, but how can you manage when people begin to say, wait, this is how we used to do it. Like I said before, planned process. This is how it used to be. It is planned. It is in the book. You cannot change it. But they forgot that people placed these policies. So we can still go back to review these policies and make changes that will help the organizations. Agile methodology requires a culture shift towards collaboration, openness, and continuous improvement. However, not all employees or leaders may be open to this change, of course, especially when it would look like it doesn't benefit them. Say hybrid work. Employees would say, yes, let's go, let's change to hybrid work, right? Say hybrid work to business leaders, business owners. No. People will not work. No. You see? So that is how it works. So if you begin to see people change, as in refuse change, is because they think, the mindset is that it will not benefit them. Of course, we understand. So they will not be open to change. Business leaders, the business owners, or the employees at some point will not be open to change. This can make it difficult to implement other principles effectively. It can make it difficult, but not impossible. So again, there is need for us to then help by communicating. Data-driven, we've talked about it. Show your data, show your numbers. How would this help the business? When the business owner is seeing how you have calculated, you have done your 1+1, you have crossed your T and you have dotted your I's properly, they would agree to your changes. But when you just come, guys, like we're going to go to working from home, you know that first subsidy, you have removed first subsidy, that's the excuse for you. You forgot that before the first subsidy issue, you've mentioned that we want to start working from home. Your business leaders, your business owner said no, right? And now we are saying that because of first subsidy, that's what we brought on table. You have missed it. They'll still tell you no. So can you then do better data? Can you then do better with the benefits, how it will benefit them? Of course, I don't want to enter into something that I do not know what is in it for me. When I want to get into anything, I want to know what is in it for me. So once you are able to show me that, Deborah, 1, 2, 3 things are in it for you, I will buy it. And that is how we should do with these challenges or limitations. So these challenges or limitations are not saying that it is a no, it cannot work, but it's a challenge or limitation that could be by you, that could make you withdraw, or that could help, that could affect your implementation. However, you can also surmount these challenges. The second challenge is lack of understanding. Another challenge of applying Agile methodology in human resources is lack of understanding or familiarity with Agile principles. HR professionals who are not familiar with Agile methodology may struggle to implement them effectively. And that is where the problem is. And this can lead to delay or ineffective solution. And it can even lead to you ruining it. So you might want to implement a change in your mind. You want to do something good, right? But at some point, because you see that people are not supporting or people are trying to throw stones at your suggestions, you just draw back. Or you just say, if you do make it, if you don't do, let it be. Because you yourself that want to implement, you don't understand what you want to do, but you want to do something, maybe in your mind. And there's someone will say that some people know something, but they cannot pass it, they cannot communicate it, they cannot share their ideas. So depending on the way you understand, that is the way you can share. So we then, you that want to implement this change, that want to apply this Agile methodology, need first to understand what you want to implement. Need first to understand what you want to do. Where would this drive home to? Where will it drive us to as a business? Then you can then carry on. So if you're able to surmount this lack of understanding change, that lack of understanding challenge, by you understanding first, you'll be able to pass it across. The next challenge you might face or limitation is limited applicability. Limited applicability. because Agile methodology may not be applicable to all HR processes or functions, may not be. So it is limited. That's another limitation or challenge. For example, some HR processes may require a more structured or regulated approach, which may not be compatible with the flexibility and iterative nature of Agile methodology. So even it might also look at when we talk about Agile, we must also look at limitation. We must also look at business specific business needs. So not all business may we be able to, for example, let me give you an example. When we talk about hybrid and we talk about QSR, so you want to apply hybrid and it's a QSR, and you know that QSR is quick service restaurant, they sell food or pizza shop or something. So are you going to tell them to work from home to do the pizza from home? Or for example, it's a manufacturing company where you have what do they call them now? Technical workers that need to use machines on site. Are you going to ask them to use the machine from home, for example? You see some other, so there are other ways that you can, in this area, that you can do, the other things you can do, not hybrid at that point. So you see, you need more structured approach in that area. So that is where the limitation comes in. So you can't apply it to all phases of the functions of the business that companies that we have. Industry. Data and analytics change challenges. Another one. Agile methodologies rely heavily on data and analytics to monitor and improve processes. However, HR departments may not have access to the necessary data or analytics tools, or may struggle to use them effectively. This may be a challenge because, like I said before, data is key. It will help you when you want to apply this Agile methodology, because your business owners want to see. They want to see according to what. So why are you saying this? Give us reasons. Show us the trends. Show us examples. How has it affected other companies? So give examples. So give us real life situations. Give us practical situations. So your data would help you to analyze these things. That is why as HR professionals, as professionals in your field, there is need for you to keep data, cherish data, and be involved in data. Scaling challenges. Agile methodologies may be effective at the team or project level, but may struggle to scale to larger HR functions or organizations. Scaling Agile methodologies require a specific significant investment in training, infrastructure, and culture change, which can be difficult to achieve. That is another challenge that you might experience when you want to apply Agile methodology. Like I said before, and I'll say again, these are challenges and limitations. However, they do not mean that you cannot then work towards agility or applying Agile methodologies to your process. So you just need to see which fits and where it will fit appropriately to your business unit, to your organizations, and to your workspace or your career space. Now, summary. Agile methodology offers a new approach to HRM, that's HR management, that can help organizations become more responsive, collaborative, and effective. By embracing these principles of Agile and applying them to HR management process, such as recruitment, we talked about performance management and employee engagement, organizations can build more efficient and effective HR functions that better meet the needs of employees and the organization as a whole. However, while there are many benefits to applying Agile methodology, there are also challenges, and these are challenges that we looked at, and you need to consider these challenges also. Understanding the challenges, understanding what you want to do, and working to overcome them, organizations can successfully adopt Agile methodologies and build HR functions that are better equipped to respond to the rapidly changing demands of the model work. With this, I say thank you. Thank you for joining in today's webinar. Thank you. If you did not join from the beginning, you can go to the YouTube and watch from the beginning. You'll get more insight about applying Agile methodology to HR processes. Thank you again. Now, let's look at questions. Do we have questions? Do we have comments? Do we have any question? Anyways, let's discuss. Any question? Thank you. Thank you. I see a number of well done, well done. Thank you. Awesome presentation. Thank you very much. Do you have questions? If you do not have questions, I would ask you questions. So, questions. Oh, do you have a comment? Any comments relating to your business, applying Agile methodology? What are your challenges? What are you facing currently? If you have questions, please. Thank you. The comments are funny. Questions, please. Okay, so I take it that we do not have questions. If you do not have questions, I would say you stay tuned to HR Mentorship group for more webinars like this. And I hope we enjoy the evening and the long weekend. Do have a great evening. Thank you. Okay.
Please, I have a question, please.
Okay. Someone has a question. Okay. Yes, thank you so much for this presentation. My question is, how do you explain Agile methodology to a layman? Okay, so before Ibrahim, I think you wanted to speak, but before you speak,
yes,
let me attend to this question. How do you explain Agile methodology to a layman? So Agile methodology is, to a layman, you can just say that it is a way of doing things easier, an easier way, or a way of following the trend of things, of quickly moving from the old way you do things to the new way. How fast you can be able to move from the old way of your doing things to a new way. Say, for example, what you normally do is in the mornings when you wake up, first you like to have your bath, then you eat before you brush your teeth. Then you went to the doctor, maybe you have a tooth problem and all that, and you're saying, oh, so indeed, or maybe you didn't have to go to the doctor, maybe something happened and you just have to change to wake up, brush, bathe before you eat. How fast you can change to that method. So the agility is your responsiveness, your mindset from the old traditional way to a new method of doing things. That's the best way I can think of right now. I don't know if anyone has an input to that question. How you can explain Agile methodology to a layman. So while my audience think about that, Ibrahim, you can speak. The floor is yours now.
Yes, yeah, good evening. Thank you for your presentation. We really appreciate.
Thank you.
Hello? Can you hear me, please?
Hear you. Yes, I can. Continue.
My question goes that I want to ask, in the organization whereby, because where I do work, I'm facing some challenges as an HR that is just new. So challenge I'm facing was that we have some people on plants and operators in different plants across all those north, and it's just like across 18 states. So, but the challenge I'm facing as new HR there now is that we have some people that they are resigning without unnecessary reason. So I'm now looking at how can I carry out, when you mentioned a survey, how you can carry out survey. I'm now looking at how can I carry out survey in implementing, or probably how to stop that, to minimize the resignation, that is exit of employees, especially those people on operators. So that is my question.
Okay, so if I understand you very well, you're looking at reasons why people are leaving, isn't it, the operators?
Exactly. So I don't know
Yeah,
the way.
so, okay, you can run an exit interview. So immediately they drop their resignation to say, I'm no longer working. You can have, because you mentioned that they are outside Lagos, like maybe you're in Lagos and those people outside Lagos, or they're not where you are.
Exactly.
You can do a Zoom meeting or Teams meeting, depending, or a phone call. So what I do normally, because I also have that challenge and I do it, you have a template. I have an Excel template where I have questions that's for my exit, because I have to report on exit reasons so that I'll be able to know what to do and what not to do in my organizations, and how to feed because the feedback, I'm leaving because this happened or that happened, is a feedback for me. So I can move to my hiring managers or line managers or the HODs to say, this is how we can better, how I can then work with you guys. So I have that data, is a data for me, and it's important so that in case when the tips are down, having so much attrition rate, what's going on, you can be able to bring out this data. So my point is, have this Excel template to run, then do a one-on-one. In fact, I will not even advise a survey on that. People may not even respond to your survey. So in such cases, I like one-on-one. It could be a phone call. I saw your response. What's the problem? Just relate with me as a friend, or relate with me since you are leaving. Let us know why you are leaving. So you have some stipulated questions that you would ask to get insight. And when you're asking this question, why I prefer a one-on-one is because you'll be able to read body languages, be able to see why people are leaving. So the person might be telling you something else, but the body language, because as HR, we should also understand psychology, body language is saying something else. So at that point, you'll be able to know that, oh, this is it. So that is why I do. That is what I do. And I would encourage that you also do have exit interviews. I hope I've been able to answer that.
Yes, exactly. Even from your points, I could be able to get some things. Even that particular, that is, I'm thinking of that method. But how can I go about it? That one-on-one method. But I'm thinking if I should go through a supervisor's implant, I might not be able to get what each person they have in mind. So, but now they said one-on-one contact, I'm going to get their contact and at least carry out that survey with them, so that I will know what they really want and what they really tell them to leave. So, thank you very much.
Oh, all right. Thank you. So I have another question. Please, Ibrahim, you can mute now. I have another question here. It says, it says, how can small businesses leverage on Agile methodology? Yes, so you would do what fits you. You cannot now do what a business of maybe 50 years is doing when it comes to Agile methodology. Like I said before now, you will do according to so you cut your coat, according to how you can manage, right? So, but I would say that small businesses, you can leverage on Agile methodology by focusing on delivering working softwares quickly, collaborating with customers, and being flexible in responding to change, especially being flexible in responding to change. So they do not have to always be in the old way, this is how we do it. They should always be open door policy where things can change over time with, of course, adequate communication, everybody's in line or aligned, then you can then create these changes. That is how, because for startups or small businesses, it is important to have this in place so that everything will work, accordingly. The staff, the customers, the people you relate with, your prospective your markets and everything will just, work smoothly when there is this agile methodology in place. Okay. Another question says, what's the difference between agile and Scrum methodologies? Scrum, okay. Agile methodology, or Agile is a project management philosophy that employs a fundamental set of values and principles. So it has its principles like we looked at. It's a way it's a new now of doing things, way of moving your mind, your mindset shifts. Why Scrum is a precise agile methodology that is utilized to facilitate a project. So we use this Scrum to facilitate a project. Why Agile is a project that could help. Okay, a project, how do I put it now? A project philosophy that employs a fundamental set of values or principles than the other way. So we can also Google to get more insights on these differences, because I think there are more differences. For example, with Agile, it is the concept of final products are not clearly defined. But with Scrum, the project requirements will change and evolve. So there are a lot of changes, there are a lot of differences, sorry, not just one. So we can also check more on it. Somebody asked, my question is, how do you implement Agile methodology to an organization that has become so familiar with the old ways of doing things, especially when the team leads that are to assist in the process feels nonchalant about implementing new ideas introduced? Yes, I know this question will come. And that is why I said before now that data is key to implementing change. You cannot say you want to implement change where change is constant, yes, but people are always resistant. People are adamant. They don't want to change. They like that old way of doing things because it's a plug and play for them. 1 + 1, 2. Plug it that way, it works. So let it continue that way. They don't want to know what other way, what are the new ways, or what are the new things that is going on. So provide evidences. Why should we move from this to this? What is the benefit of moving from this to this? How will this to this help my business? How will this to this help you as a team lead? Then you'll be able to win people over. Then communicate these changes, communicate how it will help. Let everybody be involved. Then you will see changes happening. Yetunde is raising up her hand. I would allow Yetunde, please, you can unmute to speak.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to contribute. I don't really have any question. I wanted to contribute, especially to the person that first spoke, who said he's new to the profession and also finding it out when it comes to exit. I would say one thing is understand the language of the people you work with. Okay, what I mean by that is in my firm, of course, we're into groups. We have the financial part and also we have the haulage part. And haulage part, forget it, all these drivers, that's the drivers that drove these tankers. They are not educated. So how best do you get exit interview with these people? I can send them form. They will not even attend to it. In short, they are not ready. So the best is they speak Yoruba. I speak Yoruba. I've gotten my exit interview with that because I'll speak to them in the language that they understand. I'll relate with them as if I'm in their shoes. So I just want to I want to get why you left. Oh, what has been happening? Why and this? You're asking why, because by the time they will just feel that, okay, they are going now. So there's no harm in them expressing to you. So now let me now bring it back to your home. I don't know if the guys are work, the guys you're talking about, they are educated or not, but we'll say understand their language. You don't need to go through their line managers. You will even get what you really need going through their line managers. But going through to them directly, even if without the form, even if they are far away, not nearby, a phone call can do it, though it can take you a long time, but it will do a lot of good because you speak to them and you will allow them to speak. You just give them the hearing, just to be ready to listen. And you see that they will tell you even more than you expected. If possible that you cannot write this down, you can record it. You can it's just like a mutual discussion. You can record it so that at least when you are giving your report, it should not just be like as if you are fabricating something, but at least they would need to hear a little of, edited part of what they really meant to hear. And for the last person that you just read right now, that is saying that they don't want to change. Forget it. Change is constant, but we know, but people are not ready to change. In short, by the time you bring a new system, maybe with someone, for example, someone that is using a keyboard or a typewriter to say that you'll be using that to type, and you're not bringing a laptop, the person will not really want to change. The person will tell you they're comfortable with the typewriter. So you bring in a laptop, you need to put them through some particular things. So what I would advise is sit down with these line managers, let them know the goal. Because if I don't know the goal of what you're pushing to me, I may not have interest in that idea. So let them know the goal, the vision attached to it. If possible, and you now see that, after all that you have done, all the steps you've taken, they're still not succumbing, kindly add it to their KPI. Because by the time they know that this thing is attached to my performance, it means that I need to carry people that are my subordinates along as well. So you see them succumbing to it. By the way, also pulling their subordinates, taking them alongside. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Yetunde. Yes, you have made a fine point and a very valid one at that. Yes. So, like she said, there is need for you to communicate it. So if they're still saying, no, you have done all your best, it will get into their KPIs. Once it's on their KPI, they'll be the one that would push it, and then champion that change. Thank you, everyone, again. Thank you for attending. Stay tuned to HR Mentorship, like I said, so that you'll be able to see more free webinars that will help us in this our pursuits and our career. Thank you. Do have a lovely evening and a lovely weekend. Bye.
All right, thank you, Debbie. That's an awesome presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm coming for 2 hours for ECA on top of this webinar. We do this night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.